My fellow Jew, Michael Rapaport. Hello, sir.
My
What's
man.
happening?
How are you?
How are you? I don't want to.
I see you got the kicks, and I came because I know you know.
Yours are not bad too.
No, they're not, Ariel.
What are they? What are they?
It's just, you know.
Yo, those are Jordans, man.
Jordans.
I mean, they're no De La Souls, SBs.
No, those are no. They're no De La Soul SBs.
You know about De La Soul, right?
Of course. De La Soul from the soul. My son is named after Maceo, the DJ.
Is he?
Yep.
What are you rearranging my
No, I thought I thought I rearranged it, then I was rearranging. Look at this. This is it,
You like
huh?
this, huh?
This is the spot.
Not bad, right? I
This
mean,
is
it's no
not
rinky-dink I Am Rapaport stereo podcast.
No, I mean, it's no I Am Rapaport stereo podcast studio,
out.
but it ain't bad. This is dope, man.
You surprised? Did you think that we had a rinky-dink operation?
On TV,
Yes?
it looks rinky-dinky.
Wow.
But in real life, no. It looks great on TV and it looks good in real life.
Thank you. By the way, you changing the name of the podcast. I was listening yesterday, and you're debating whether or not you should change it to the I Am Rapaport stereo podcast, and you're debating. Why?
I'm thinking of calling it Allegedly with Michael Rapaport, just because everything I say, I feel like I have to preface it and end it by saying allegedly, so I don't get in trouble.
Sued someone, yeah.
Anything. So that way, if the whole thing is just allegedly,
Right.
it'll save me trouble.
Okay.
It'll save me some
Is
trouble.
this a fully independent operation? Or do you work with anyone? Like, does anyone distribute it?
iHeart.
iHeart, okay.
Yes.
All right, nice.
Yes. And podcasts are like assholes.
Everyone's got them?
And some people have more than one.
That's true. And you've been in the podcast game for how long?
I've been in the podcast game for about 7.5 years. And, I got there before the podcast game got crazy and before everybody had one.
Right.
I love doing it. It's fun. It's interesting. It's exciting. And it's like a sort of verbal, cultural, political, sports, personal sort of diary.
Yes.
Like, I love it, and it's just an interesting, fun thing. And I didn't, it's business now, but when I first started doing it, it like I said, it wasn't so much it wasn't where everybody had podcasts and there was money to necessarily be made. So it's been interesting to be a part of the growth of the medium, and I really enjoy doing it.
Are you polarizing? Is it fair to say you're why are you so why, like, when I say you're going to be on the show, there's people like, yo, you got Rapaport, and then there's people like, I'm not watching. What is up with that?
Well, because the people that are saying they're not watching, you're little fucking babies. You're little babies. You're upset.
Why are they upset?
I don't want to go down the road why they're upset.
I don't know.
Because it could be polarizing.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It could be polarizing.
Right. Because you're not afraid to speak your mind.
I'm not afraid to speak my mind. Well, the reason why I'm not afraid to speak my mind, I have, firm takes. I have controversial takes. There's been a lot of fake news.
About you?
Yeah, fake news, because, people, they get caught up in the, I don't want to give anybody credit. They get caught up in the bullshit. But so when they go, I'm not watching, I'm like, oh, you're.
But they're really watching, right? Because I remember.
You're watching, right? You said you weren't watching, but you're watching.
Right.
You thought Jon Jones was coming out. I saw a lot of people thought Jon Jones was coming, and they're like, fuck Michael Rapaport. That's why they're not watching.
Maybe that's true. I mean, it is the MMA hour, but you're a big fan. I'm going to get to that in a moment, but just on that point, I remember Howard always used to talk about the fact that, like, according to the polls, the people who say they hate him actually listen or watch more than the people that say they like him, right?
Well, that might be good for Howard.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's I think, a lot of people that say they're not watching, particularly like I saw on you, their Instagrams are all private.
Got it.
And why is your thing private if no one's checking for you anyway?
Yeah.
Like, see, I'm looking in the camera for some of them. Like, why are you on private? No one's, unless you're not who you say you are.
Oh.
Or maybe you're a Russian robot. I don't know.
Okay. You think that's...
I think there's a lot of Russian robots on social media.
Who are coming after you?
Coming after everybody.
Everyone.
The thing about Instagram in particular, they're doing a lot of changings.
Yeah.
How come every single time anybody makes a post, it's, I won the lottery, I'm paying 77 people $77,000, or do you want to get verified? How do they do that so quickly?
It's annoying.
It's annoying, and also, there's got to be a way to stop that. And that has to be computerized, because they're the first ones in.
It's so annoying.
And there's no way to seemingly stop it. Verified, not verified, you pay $8 a month. But the funny thing, Ariel, is that you say I'm polarizing. And really, I maybe your crack staff could do this. I wanted to figure out who has more beefs, you or me.
Oh, wow.
I was going over it this morning. I was like, I think Ariel has way more beefs than me. I think he has way more beefs that are current than me. And I think collectively you've been in more beefs.
You think so?
Based on what I know. So, my beefs are just they're loud handful beefs. But yours are like, and I was speaking to my friend, I want to give a shout out to my friend Mark Fernandez, who's a big fan. He was at my guy
shout
Chris.
out.
And I was speaking to them, and they were like, yeah, you have to ask him, man. And I was like, well, what do you think? And they think...
Me?
Really? By far.
Compared to you?
Ariel.
Yeah, you had a beef with Kevin Durant.
But you have beef with... you have beef with the person who sort of runs the sport. and then the athletes, and then the ex-athletes, and the trainers. Like, currently, how many beefs do you think you have? And is there any beefs that you would even mention? Because you don't even want to mention some of these people.
No, I'll mention
But the thing about you also, twofold question is, like, I never understand why you're in beef, because I always find you to be chill. Like, I get why I'm in beefs.
Yeah.
Like, I totally get why I'm in beefs. But I'm like, why are people can I say fuck?
Yeah, go ahead. Say whatever the fuck you want.
Why are people messing with my guy Ariel? Because you're sort of like, you're chill. But I'll say this.
Tell me.
When it comes to when you're in beef, you're like Biggie Smalls.
I mean, or Tupac, hit him up.
Tupac.
Nas Ether.
Nas Ether. Like, you don't want to be in beef with you. And that's saying for someone who doesn't back, but like, your beef game is super chill. Like, you're just calm, cool, and collective. You're a wordsmith, and then then the computer, like, you start pulling out, like, you start pulling receipts,
CVS,
paper, files, taxes. Like, there's like, mortgages. Like, once you start like peeking down, because most of the time you're into camera, but when you start peeking into, I don't know what's behind that thing. I don't even think that's a real computer. I think there's like someone hidden under the desk.
I appreciate all of this. By the way,
your beef game is crazy.
In the world of pro wrestling, what you just did was put me over. That's the world of pro wrestling. To steal jar, you put me over right there. You did the job for me there, and I appreciate it.
No one needs to do it. Like, I don't think that's why I don't understand why people are still coming for you. But like, you got.
It's kind of surreal for me because like Remy is putting me over right now. One of my all-time favorite characters, Remy. I mean, shout out.
Yes.
Higher Learning.
Yes.
Freaking love it. Tyra Banks in her prime. I mean, what a movie.
Omar Epps.
Busta Rhymes.
The late great giant John Singleton directed it.
Lawrence Fishburne. You know how many times I saw that movie? We don't need to go. We did an interview about that on my other channel. But here's the thing about beefs. When someone has a beef, in my opinion, it's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
And so you ask me, how many beefs do you have right now? The answer to that is none. Do you know why? Because I'm undefeated, undisputed. You know what I mean? The beefs are over. Once I respond, they don't come back for more.
Do you shut it down?
It's over. It's a 10-7 round. It's 10-7 Helwani. I mean, do you see anyone talking shit? They try, they pipe up, and here's the thing.
But why though? Like, what?
And they all start. I never start. I finish. I don't start.
That's the
difference.
Finish.
That's the difference. I never start. I don't pick on anyone. I don't come after anyone. I would say that's the difference between me and you. You look for trouble, right?
What are you throwing me under the bus for, man?
You do look a little bit for trouble, and I give you credit. God bless you.
I don't think I would say that one thing that we do have in common, because I was thinking about it backstage, I was like, I don't look for trouble, and you might respond, but my things that I've had, whether they're athletes, or politics, or whatever, like, I just, when there's mistruths, and false, and that's when I like,
Yeah, lies suck. I hate liars.
And just, bull crappers. I'm trying not to curse, but like the bull crap and the jack fakers. Shout out to the De La Soul. They used to say that on stage. These are the jack fakers over here. That's when I get into it. But I would say if we looked at all the details, I haven't started mine.
Really? Okay, fair enough.
If we looked at the details, I mean, I definitely am the loudest, and I curse the most, which is really the thing that's the thing, is the cursing.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why, like, are you upset about the cursing?
No, I curse a lot now, too.
Do you?
Yeah.
But not in beef. That's the thing that I like about it. In beef, you get into some, like, you're like a thesaurus.
Thank you. Cerebral.
Yeah. So if you had since you brought up wrestling,
thank you.
Would you say Ariel, the finisher, Helwani?
Not bad. That's not bad. I mean, yeah, you started, I finished. People used to,
Ariel, you started, I finished. I like a full sentence.
they call me Heel Wani.
Heel Wani.
Do you know what a heel is?
Of course.
Heels, okay, that's what they call me because that's my alter ego. Like when you come at the king, you best not miss, and they often miss is the problem. And yes, it's high profile people, but I don't like lies. And people try to perpetuate lies about me, and that's what really pisses me off. Oh, you got fired from ESPN. No, I didn't. They offered me a contract. It was a fine deal. It was more than any other media member in MMA would get. I just didn't want to be there anymore. I wanted to do my own thing. And there's shit like that really, when you got a guy, guy like Dana White, calls me a piece of shit, calls me the worst human on the planet. And I see a guy like that, and now we have learned more about him since, right? And you're like, what is this? I have to respond. Like, I can't let that guy speak of me like this. That's messed up.
And, I mean, the very worst person on the planet, like out of all the, maybe like we could say Ariel's in the top 10, but the worst, like he's really
I'm number one. I am a low down
you're number
scumbag
one.
piece of shit. That's what he says.
Maybe put you top 10, top 15. Just based on what I know.
Sure.
Maybe you scoot down to top 5 if I did a little more investigation. But the very worst person? But who are your other? Patty the Baddie and his camp?
Patty the Baddie, they don't like me because they asked to be paid to come on this show.
I was expecting that too, right?
Yeah, no. We are going to Venmo you. Don't worry about that. That's on the back end. You have to show up
Was
first.
I allowed to say that on air?
No, that's fine. That's totally fine. Listen.
Because I know that, okay, so.
Patty opened my eyes to it. He said that I'm a content creator and I should be paying my guests.
A lot of these people do that.
That's fucking bullshit. Have you ever paid for a guest?
Hell no.
What the hell is that?
This business, this world, like this podcasts and shows, it's like, you do them for a few. Me, I do them for personal reasons, like a few different reasons. Number one, when you're just straight up promoting something.
Right.
Number two, when you're a fan. Like I'm a fan of yours, and I watch the show. I listen to the show. I mean, or you want to like sort of, for me, sometimes like up and coming people will ask me, and I'll say, okay, well, I'll be on your show after you do 100 episodes.
Respect.
Because like some people say, can you be my first guest? I'm like, you don't even know what your show is.
Yeah.
Like your 100th show is going to be different than your 57th show.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's a give and take, and it's like, that's. But a lot of people are paying for.
They are.
Yeah. Like some people had OJ on a show, and they're like, I heard that.
Yeah. The Nelk Boys.
Like, why would you? Oh, I mean
Did they pay?
That's the
rumor.
That's why allegedly with Michael Rapaport.
That's true. That is true.
Allegedly with Michael Rapaport, but I think that like if you're a fighter, any fighter should come through here.
It was whack, especially since like I had this guy on my show back in 2017 or so when very few people in America, especially he was in studio sitting right there, and we were talking about how no one in America knows who he is. And all of a sudden he wins a couple of UFC fights, and then he has the audacity to come and ask me for payment. His manager acts like a total dick to me on text, and then goes on a show, doesn't say a word about it, waits until Dana White, who hates me more than anyone, is sitting in front of him, his boss, and then starts spewing lies about me, gets the timeline wrong, gets the facts wrong, all that shit. And I was like, I'm not going to let you smear my good name.
Then you got to put on that Tupac beat. Get money, and you just, first off, fucked your bitch and the click you claim.
Yeah.
Now,
West Side till we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but
fucked your
wife and about some bad boy. Nigga. I mean, it's one of the all-time. I used to listen to that, by the way, when I was playing basketball, Jewish private school in Montreal, in the back.
To get hyped?
To get hyped. That was my song. That and Triumph by Wu-Tang.
That's another good one.
Atomically, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can be found when I'm dropping these. Those were my two songs. But if I had to pick one, it was Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah, that was
the all-time best.
Yeah, I mean, that was not good. I mean, it was great, but it's like I wish that song never happened.
Really?
Just because
it was too much?
I feel like I feel like it added, that was like a big, I don't want to say fuel to the fire, but it was like a couple of pork chops on the fire. Like it was like, that added a lot.
Isn't it crazy how we still don't know who killed both of them?
I don't think we're ever going to know.
Why? We find out about everyone else.
I know. I think it's so...
It feels like almost like there was no effort, or am I crazy?
I think there was effort. I think there was a lot of cover up, and I think it's going to be one of it's like JFK.
Yeah.
For both of them.
But at least with JFK, there's one guy that we sort of know, right? Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even a name, or is there?
But there's a few of those documentaries that leads to this person and leads to that person. What a shame, though, because I can't remember what person said it. They were like, if God forbid, like a big Hollywood actor got shot down on Wilshire and La Cienega, we would get to the bottom of it.
Crazy. By the way, how the hell did we get into this topic? I wanted to come on and set up the fact. This is amazing. We've been talking for almost 30 minutes, and we haven't even gotten into the reason why you're actually here. Last week, I'm doing the show.
Oh, right.
I
forgot why.
Last week, I'm doing the show, and shout out to Michael Rapaport, who, by the way, is going to be in Cleveland, the 216 this weekend. I want to give a shout out, and I'm going to do this multiple times, but Michael Rapaport Comedy, and that's Rapaport.
Yep.
Comedy.com.
Yep.
You're going to be there from the 23rd to the 25th. No,
in Indianapolis
23rd to the 25th this weekend at the Cleveland Improv.
The Land.
The 216, who you've actually said some shit about back in the day. And have you been there? Have you been there since? This is your first time back?
This is my first time back. I didn't say shit. No, I didn't say. This was during the Warriors.
I know,
Cleveland.
But still. Doesn't matter when it was.
And this is when I brought the broom to the game.
Not even game 4.
Game 3.
Game 3. Why would you bring a broom to game 3? Just to let them know?
The reason why I brought the broom to game 3 is because I thought I was being polite.
Okay.
I assumed you guys are going to get swept. Let's start cleaning today.
Now, let's get ahead of it.
Why wait?
So you're going back
I'm
as
going
a heel.
back. No, I'm going back to perform.
Okay.
And so I'm going back as a heel. And I also was very confused. I got to be honest. When Cleveland won, was that 2016?
Yep.
There was a gentleman at the parade. Now, I don't condone riots at parades. I don't condone car flipping. I don't condone violence at parades. It's a celebration. The Cleveland Cavaliers came back from 3-1, and there was a gentleman at the parade who chose to eat horse shit.
Is that true?
That's a fact, and it was on video, and I watched it. It wasn't CGI'd. It wasn't green screen. There was a gentleman, and I just was like, that's something you do when you lose a bet. That's not something you do to celebrate is eat horse shit. And not just like a little, he ate horse shit.
It's so weird.
And I was just confused by that. And then I was also resentful because when I was in Cleveland, this is my fault. I went into a random sushi spot in Cleveland, which
is a little bit of a suspect.
You're rolling the dice.
Right, yeah.
And I was very, very sick from that. So those three things combined, I was very, very passionate about that series. And of course, they lost in 5 games. The broom was not necessary. So for game 5 in Golden State, I brought the plunger to plunge them the fuck back to Cleveland.
You went to that game too?
Yes.
You were following them around?
Yes.
Why?
I was doing some stuff for the NBA, and I'm a huge fan.
Of course.
Which I wanted to ask you.
Oh, we got so much to talk about.
There's so
We're
much
never
to
even
talk
going to
about.
get to Jon Jones.
We'll get to Jon Jones. But do you miss and still love, because you obviously loved the NBA, do you miss being able to talk about the NBA?
Oh, well,
not being able to talk about it, but like do you miss it?
I did some sideline stuff for ESPN when I was there. I was a sideline reporter. Thank you, I appreciate it.
That's when that's why I'm asking you.
Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I am getting back into the NBA game.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not quite there. This is breaking news, Frank. You can play the
breaking
music.
news.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
I'm getting back into the NBA game.
Good for you.
In a pretty big way. I love the NBA. I love basketball.
Okay.
And I love the New York Knickerbockers, my man.
Holy shit.
What is going to happen? I mean, can you come back?
Well,
9 in a row. Yesterday was I was so looking forward.
9 in a row is fine. It's good. I don't
wanted
like
them
streaks.
10 in a row with you coming in.
That would be good.
It would have been nice, but the Hornets are the whatever. You know, it was a trap game. About to go to the West. You just beat the Celtics and the Heat. It's fine.
It's fine.
But this is a likable team, man.
Likable team. They play together.
Yes.
They weren't bought.
No.
It wasn't manufactured. I am concerned. I will tell you that I am concerned that the Knicks are winning, yet the owner of the team is on a dating app.
I know.
That concerns me.
Why can't you separate the two?
Because I feel like we're separating the two, but we're never separating the two. And also, like, why are you on a dating app? Like, you're the owner of the Knicks, like,
and the Rangers.
And like,
MSG.
probably this building and like, I don't know, this cup.
Yes.
And also he's on a dating app with a blues band hat. Like, he's a blues singer. Have you ever had the honor and privilege of seeing James Dolan sing the blues?
And the straight shot, I think it is.
JD and the shit stains. Is that the name?
I don't know. I could separate the two. I love that team. I love what that jersey represents. I think of Walt Clyde Frazier. My middle son's name is Walter. Because of Walter Cronkite and Walt Frazier. I love those two guys.
That's cool.
Patrick Ewing, my favorite athlete of all time. The 90s Knicks are my favorite sports team of all time.
Love that.
Why are you depriving yourself?
It's not me.
What do you mean?
It's not me. I mean,
You brought this upon yourself,
This I did not bring to myself.
No?
When the great Charles Oakley was thrown out of there.
It was a dark day.
I said, and I knew I would lose my privilege of getting free tickets, but I said, You're not see. This is beef.
This is beef.
So when you throw out Charles Barkley, fuck your tickets.
Yeah.
Fuck the great chocolate chip cookies that they have in the suite at Madison Square Garden because they have incredible chocolate chip cookies. Fuck it all. It was
bad.
so offensive, and that was the end of my.
Have you ever been back?
I've been back. I just don't get the free tickets.
Oh, you could go as a fan. You're not banned from the building. You could buy a ticket.
Well, since this facial recognition thing popped up in January, I haven't gone. The last time I went was the fights. Was the UFC fights here at the
in November? Israel at Adesanya?
Yes.
You were there?
Yeah, of course.
Wow. So you're allowed to go in the building.
As far as I know,
Did they give you trouble there?
No. And the security guards,
they love you.
They're New York.
You're a man of the people.
They would hate to if the facial recognition button blew up and.
Oh my gosh! But a Knick game, last one,
last season.
Oh, you went.
And
what?
I don't
on the
DL.
DL?
No, courtside.
How? Were you in disguise? How is this not out there? Did you have a mustache?
No, it's out there. It turned. I don't want to. If you want me to go two down.
I'm fascinated here.
A friend of mine has courtside seats.
Okay.
And when you get those courtside seats, everybody's name is on the courtside seats, and the lead singer of the aforementioned band.
Okay.
Found out that I was going to be a guest, and he was not very happy about that because of the things I've said about him running the team. And it turned into a whole thing. And since then, that was a whole. That I don't want to get involved because there's another person.
Okay.
But let's just say it didn't. He was not happy that I was there, but I was there on that wood. I don't play. I sit on the wood.
Sure.
Like the wood.
Yeah.
That's Spike Lee.
And you were there the whole time?
Oh yeah, I get there early.
Yeah, but you stayed till the end. Like no one told you to leave or anything.
No.
So right now, are you rooting for the Knicks?
Of course.
You are?
I would never not root for the Knicks.
But weren't you, didn't you show up in a Nets uniform and all that shit?
I went there with D'Angelo Russell, gave me courtside seats.
Yeah.
They gave me a jersey. I put the jersey on.
Wait, if it's Knicks versus Nets, who are you rooting for?
The Knicks.
For real?
I'm from Manhattan.
I know, but
I directed a 30 for 30 on New York.
I know, when the Garden was Eden.
Listen.
Legendary.
That little short shit, James Dolan, will never take away
That's what I'm saying.
my fandom, my father's fandom, and everything that the New York Knicks have meant to me. The heartbreak, the thrill, the victory, the Anthony Mason, the Bernard King, the Marvin Webster, the Pat Ewing, the Dave DeBusschere, the Earl, the Pearl Monroe. He'll never take it away.
Okay.
But this is my final thing on that.
Yeah.
If the Knicks do win a championship someday, and he is the owner of the team, when they give you that trophy? They're going to boo his ass.
Oh.
On the greatest day in Knicks history, they will boo his little ass. And I hope he's wearing his jazz hat to cover his face. Let's move on. Talk about Jon Jones.
Okay. Sorry.
The MMA hour. You're getting all crazy, man.
I get crazy. Okay, so
Stay focused. The MMA hour in here.
Look at this setup. Last week, I'm doing the show, and I get a text from my good friend Michael Rapaport in the middle of the show. And I don't know, if I'm being honest, maybe he was reacting to something we were talking about, because we were talking about UFC 285 in the moment. So maybe you're just like, yo, I'm listening, Jones in 3. I was like, we debated, Frank and I, were like, is he listening? Is he not? Because I have a rule. If you're a friend of mine and you hit me up during the show, I'm calling you.
I was listening.
You were?
Yes. That's why I hit you.
Okay, well, anyway, here's the clip, by the way, for those that may have missed it. FaceTime call with Michael Rapaport. You won't be able to hear this because it'll just be playing for the audience, but here it is.
I will be there next week to discuss Jon Jones winning in 3.
Wait, are you wearing the same shirt?
That's the prediction, Jon Jones in 3?
Jones in 3, and I will come to New York, and the loser of our bet will get the other person coffee.
Deal. Next week, I'll hit you up on the side. You're in studio, sitting right over there.
I get Ventis and Trenti lattes.
I take water at the last possible second. I'm not wearing the same shirt, by the way.
It looked like it in the
That
clip.
was black. This is like blue.
I'm slightly colorblind.
In any event, what you said was Jon in 3.
I said Jones.
Jones in 3. Now, this is what we debated on Monday. Did that mean within 3? Or
I had him winning in 3.
Okay, so that means you thought he was going to win in the 3rd round.
I thought he was going to win by submission in the 3rd round.
Submission?
Yes.
So he did it in the 1st round. Does that mean you won? Does that mean you won the bet?
No. I won the bet essentially, but I didn't win that bet. Because that fight to me was so disappointing. Not for Jon Jones that was an incredible performance. As a fan, I mean.
Disappointing?
It was so weird. It was so
Okay, before you get into this, I just want to say, we are people of our word. What did you say you wanted?
Coffee.
How big?
Oh, Trenty.
Here it is.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a Trenty for you. I mean, we got it with all the fix. How about that? There's Joe. Look at this.
Look at Joe.
Look at Joe, the freaking man. There's a Trenty for you. Is that a Trenty? We debated if a Trenty was a real thing.
It's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
You know Trenty's a real thing?
It's a freaking large cup of coffee.
It's like the big gulp of coffee.
Yes.
This will have you hopped up.
How many of those do you have a day?
No. Maybe half, but I like the way
It feels.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a girth to it.
Yeah. Trenta.
Oh, that's Frank.
He's not French.
Yeah. So there it is. We are men of our word.
Appreciate it. This is nice too. Did you?
Okay, so why was it disappointing?
You've covered it. I know it's Wednesday. You've covered it.
No.
It was disappointing because I wanted a fight. I also think for me as a Jones fan, and I wanted him to win. He didn't get to test drive the new car.
Yeah.
And that was disappointing because I wanted to see how he moved. And the two things that I've heard about how he moved is him saying he felt a little goofy on his feet for the 32 seconds he was on his feet,
right.
and DC saying that he thought he didn't look good on his feet. And I'm like, I love you, DC, but Joe, he was on his feet for 32 seconds.
And then he took him down. And then it was super impressive. And then he choked him out.
But what the fuck, man? I mean, have you made sense of this? Was it just he's just incredible?
Honestly, I do believe, and I try to be careful when I talk about this because I have the utmost respect for these guys, but I do believe to a degree that Ciryl was a little bit a victim of the moment. Him throwing that first leg kick and hitting Jon below the belt, to me was like, oh, he's a little bit nervous. And even before the fight, as they walked up to each other, he just looked nervous. And he's younger than Jon. He's not a 20-year-old. He's a 32-year-old, I believe. 31, 32, something like that. He's been in big fights.
But not like this.
This was a different level. This was Las Vegas. This was Jon Jones. There was a lot of pressure. And I feel, when I say that, I'm not trying to take anything away from Jon.
Yeah.
But I do feel like Stipe is going to give him a tougher fight. Stipe Miocic.
100%.
So, listen, Jon said there are levels and this is a bad matchup, and he was right. And I have to say, I didn't think it would go down like that. Like I said on Monday, I did not expect that. He owned the week. He looked comfortable. He looked rejuvenated. He looked happy. He looked just relaxed, calm, collected. He freaking killed that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But do you feel, by the way, like you were robbed $70?
No, I never feel. Well, the whole night was good.
Exactly.
And I
was talking to someone yesterday on ESPN Radio, and they were like, "Man, it was a letdown. I paid $70 for a 2-minute fight." I'm like, "Yo, UFC's giving you five. Like, with all due respect,
give you a whole day of fighting.
five main card fights, let alone the prelim fights that were great, that were worth $60 in their own right."
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know if you were that kind of fan.
I never feel that way. I only feel that way. I've only felt that way with boxing events when the judges get in the way or there's some crazy ending to a fight.
Sure.
But that's the way that fight went out. The other fights were good. And, I enjoyed it. I just was so looking forward to seeing like a thump, like a real thump.
A heavyweight thump.
Are you able to make predictions before fights? Like with your position?
I'm allowed. I stay away from it. You know why? Because honestly, like I'm in the business of booking guests, right? And I book them. Like me, I don't have a booker. I book everyone. The same way I was checking in with you. And so I learned very early in my career, I would make a prediction. It's stupid, like, oh, I think this guy's going to, and then I would hit someone up and they're like, you thought I was going to lose. And I was like, you know what? This is dumb. Why am I making predictions?
Right.
I need the guys to come on.
Right.
Now, I'm okay with being critical in a respectful way, in a professional way, but I stay away from the predictions for that reason.
Got you.
If I wasn't in the interview business, then I would do it.
So what did you expect from that fight? You expected
honestly,
5
legit.
rounds?
No, I said to the guys privately, and then I said on Monday, full disclosure, transparent. I thought Ciryl Gane was going to win.
Wow.
I thought that all this talk of Jon lacking motivation in his last 3 fights, his last 3 fights were subpar.
Yeah.
I thought that was hogwash. I thought that, look, Jon has been open about his transgressions, to be mild.
Transgressions.
Yes. Jon has been open about this. And I have often made the comparison, and I think you would appreciate this comparison. Jon Jones is our Doc Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, meaning unbelievable potential, unbelievable athleticism, skill, God-given ability, but kind of gets in his own way. And then guess what? I was on Bill Simmons' show last week, and I've
had beef with him too.
Are you cool now?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
But that was, and I like Bill, but that was on him.
Really?
That was on him.
Was it a Celtics thing, a Boston thing?
No, it wasn't a Celtics thing. It was this. Bill, I've been on his podcast, did Iconic Podcast
Yes.
on Bill's podcast. Bill did his show, which was not a good show.
Oh, the HBO one?
Not a good show.
Okay.
He asked me to come on there. I did one of the greatest things on his show. If I fuck with a person, I am a where and when person.
Sure.
You say, we're going to do a skit, Jon Jones, we'll meet you where and when. If I fuck with you. When I had my book come out, I have a book that didn't do well, great book. This book has both sports rants from the MVP of Talking Trash. I hit Bill, book's coming out. Nothing. Hit Bill, book's coming out. Nothing. Hit Bill the day the book's coming out. Nothing. Now I have to go Denzel Man on Fire. 3 times, not once. But when you say,
why do you think that is?
I think sometimes, people are player haters.
Really?
This is before his $100 million deal.
Yeah.
And I was upset about that because I am a where and when type of dude.
You're loyal.
Hell yeah.
Salt of the earth, mensch.
I don't even know if I'm a salt of the earth. That's up for discussion. But I am a mensch and I am a where and when person. If I rock with you, I'm a where and when person. And my stats on his show, they speak for themselves. Like I went on his podcast and I like it's a show.
Yeah.
I don't come on there to play games. I come on to give a good show.
You do as you are right now. Anyway, I didn't mean to bring that up. The only thing that, and I like Bill, I work with him as well.
And I like Bill too, and I respect Bill and Bill's big book of basketball. In my opinion, what Bill has done for sports, everybody's reaping the benefits of it.
Sure.
Like whether it's, I'm not going to name the one company, but I think we're all reaping the benefits of what Bill did.
Yeah, no, he opened
sport.
a lot of doors.
So, huge.
He came back with the suggestion, and it's an actual better one. I've been using the Gooden and Strawberry one. You get why, right?
Yes.
For a while.
But they're not the greatest of all time.
So that's the thing. John was and is. He came back with a better one, which I wish I thought of myself. Lawrence Taylor. He's our Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor, maybe the greatest defensive player of all time, 2-time Super Bowl champion.
On crack.
And did a lot of crazy shit, right?
Lawrence Taylor, greatest football player on crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Not synthetic, pure white booger sugar.
Wow.
that snow. That pure white, that snow bunny.
Yeah. So that's
not that like that shit that was being flown in from Mexico and Colombia.
Yeah, no.
Clean white. There was nothing mixed. And I mean, LT before a football game, he was not sleeping. He was at strip clubs in Manhattan, drinking champagne with mob
But it was
bosses.
a winner. But it was an absolute winner, right?
Talk about glory days of New York sports, and talk about the excitement and the thrill of having somebody to I mean, I would, if there was one jersey that I would wear, it would be an LT jersey. And I'm 52.
Yeah.
And you look like an asshole when you wear it.
For sure.
I'd wear that jersey because of what he gave me and my father and my brother. I mean, the excitement. The guy was on crack.
Yeah.
And hookers. And who knows what else. The crack and a night of hookers. He would chase around that fat fuck Ron Jaworski like it was nothing.
In any event, so John is kind of that guy. And I was wondering if those performances from 3 years ago were more as a result of just all this partying catching up to him, or what other people were saying, which was he was lacking motivation. He was fighting lesser opponents, this and that. So that's what they were saying. I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking 3 years off, everything that he did to his body, the transgressions, whatever, plus moving up to heavyweight against a younger guy, I thought it was a recipe for disaster. And then look how he looks. So then clearly I was A, wrong, and B, maybe this new chapter, this new goal of being heavyweight champion and really cementing his spot is enough motivation for him to look like that. Now we'll see. I think the Stipe fight is a very winnable fight. He's the favorite as of right now. Stipe's been out for 2 years. He's coming off a knockout loss. I think there's a chance we may see Jon Jones for the next few years dominate heavyweight and really separate himself from the rest of the pack as far as like the all-time best, which is amazing considering the party. This guy told me, I'll never forget, 2013, he's walking out to fight Alexander Gustafsson in the greatest UFC fight of all time in Toronto. And he told
the first one.
Yes. He told me after the fact that as he was walking out, he was saying to himself, I can't believe I'm about to lose this fight. I can't believe I didn't train properly. I can't believe the week of the fight in Toronto, he was driving an hour out of Toronto to quote unquote party. He told me this on the record. He was seeking stuff to do.
During the week.
The week in Toronto. And he still dug down deep and won that fight.
In my opinion, that was his greatest performance. I know it's sick. It's sick. And I don't support anybody annihilating themselves like that. I don't. anybody, athletes, not athletes, friends, actors, strangers, you know. But that fight, which I actually rewatched last week, in my preparation for, I was really hyped. I was watching all of Gaines fights. I was watching all of, you know, I watched a bunch of them. And I'm an MMA guy, but I'm not that much. But I was really that excited. Because he won that fight, it showed his true championship grit under the duress, self-imposed duress, terrible duress. And it's not dope or cool or funny or something to, you know, make light of, even though I'm making light of the LT stuff, because LT sort of does, but that was his most impressive fight. What would you say was his most impressive night of fighting?
Man, the Shogun win in 2011 was unbelievable here in Newark. That was, considering how young he was, 23, in his first title fight, had just fought 5 weeks
23?
prior. Yeah, youngest champion ever. And he smoked a legend, a Hall of Famer in Shogun.
That was 11 years ago?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No, 2011, March of 2011. UFC 128.
Wow.
The morning of that fight, he's meditating at a pond in Newark. They exist apparently. and took down a mugger. Remember that?
Right.
Took down an actual, like it was like straight out of a promoter's, you know, dream, that this young guy, clean cut, good looking guy, 6 foot whatever, longest wingspan in UFC history, longest reach, the brother of 2 NFL guys. It was like, and then of course, you know, there were so many things along the way, but the fact that he's still around and all those dudes are gone. Rampage, Rashad, Shogun, Vitor Belfort, all those guys are gone. All the guys that he smoked. It's the greatest run ever.
Yeah.
It's a murderer's row. And the newer, here's the problem. The newer fans look back on those guys and they're like, what's the big deal? Like, to us, Shogun is like some overweight, out of shape guy. I'm like, no, you don't realize Shogun, Rampage, Rashad, Vitor Belfort. Like, it was unbelievable to see him come back after a 3-year layoff and not really knowing what he did in those 3 years. And I know the body didn't look great, whatever. I was blown away.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, hopefully for him, he stays on the clean and narrow and the straight and narrow outside of fighting. But he ain't gonna take Stipe, and if he ever fights Francis, he ain't gonna be you know, going out of town for those fights. There's no way.
Hope not.
I think that just those will keep you sober, because both of those dudes are scary. Do you think the Francis would ever be made? Because I don't even know, like, see the details of his whole thing, why he left.
It's a crazy story. I mean, he bet on himself. He had this has never happened before. One fight left on his deal, goes into a title fight with a torn ACL. His doctor told him don't fight, but he had to because he wanted to keep the belt, because that gave him the leverage against Cyril Gane last January. Down 2 rounds to none, never wrestles,
fight,
and then freaking turns it around and starts wrestling the guy. And he's not a wrestler.
He was a motherfucker that night.
With a torn ACL. Could you imagine that shit? And
it was torn, huh?
Torn. Had surgery and all. And then comes all the way back, has the surgery, he's good to go. And they offered him a 3-fight deal. They offered him the 2 Jon fights, a rematch, and a Stipe fight. And he wanted some other stuff.
More money.
Wasn't the money.
Oh, it was like things for fighters.
Things for fighters.
Well, things for fighters are important. And, you know, paying trainers and hotels, like that shit, you know.
Here's the thing. Can I ask you about this? Like, you're very outspoken, right? You're very outspoken, and you call bullshit on people. But I do see you giving Dana White a lot of props. And I'm surprised about that. I'm surprised. Is it just that
you don't see me giving a lot of it is, some of it is a lack of knowledge.
Right.
Some of it is, I respect the man on fire in him. Like, he's just, I mean, because this whole thing with his wife.
Yeah.
That's really the thing. You know, politically, me and him have had conversations. Lucy, I've never.
Oh, you've met him?
In passing.
Okay.
But he knows my politics, and I know his politics. But people misinterpret specifically about my politics, like, well, he's a Trump supporter. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I don't give a fuck who you support. Like, I don't agree. Just like you could say you're a Red Sox fan. I'm okay. The Red Sox sucks. Trump sucks. This one sucks. Biden sucks. But I don't know the full history of Dana, to be totally honest.
But what you hear about, you know, fighter pay and all this.
I don't like that. I don't like that, because I'm the fighter. I'm the actor.
I know. That's why
I'm the performer.
Me. It surprised me. Like, I listened to Stephen A. Smith as well, and I know they're friends. And I'm like, yo, you call people out on their bullshit all the time. And then you...
Did you just call me out on my bullshit?
I mean, I do remember one time you giving props, and I was like, man, I just chalk it up to a lack of knowledge, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just mean you don't know how the sausage is made like I do.
I don't know. I don't know how the sausage
Fighters
is made.
get less than 20% of the revenue. They slap logos all over them, and
That's
the fighters
not
get
cool.
0%. They sign billion-dollar TV deals, and the fighters get 0%.
The fighters should be taken. You know, those guys should be rich.
I know, and they're not.
They should be rich. Nathan Diaz should be fucking rich. Conor McGregor shouldn't be the only one who's rich. Nate Diaz should be rich. Francis should be rich. It's a heavyweight champion of the world.
$600,000 for that last fight.
Which walks away with what, 200?
Yeah, after
if he's
taxes,
lucky,
after coaches.
And you pay this? How much do coaches get paid? How do they pay coaches?
Some it's 10%, some it's 5%. It's everyone's different. Manager fee. Also, by the way, maybe 2%, 3% fly business class. These are fighters. They're going home and they're flying coach internationally.
Right, with broken...
Yes. They're sitting middle row in the back.
No.
It's like little things like that. Sometimes you want to ask for another hotel room for your team. You got to pay for it.
No.
It's crazy, man.
It ain't cool. It ain't cool.
But they have the power to do so. People mistake me talking like this, be like, you're being a hater. No, I have so much respect.
Everyone's just with the haters.
It's just the fighters, I have too much respect for them to shut up about this stuff.
And that's why, to pivot into when we've had other conversations about the Jake Paul fights. I'm like, come on, man. You're not a fighter. You're not a boxer.
First of all, you bought the pay-per-view.
Always. Against my better.
I saw the video. You were reluctant.
My wife was like, you're paying for it.
What?
I'm not paying for it.
Here's the video right here.
You got this shit lined up.
We got everything.
This is an operation.
Yes, we got a full operation.
You like how I pivoted into Jake?
It was nice. It was very nice. I was waiting for it. So here you are buying it. You didn't want to buy it.
No.
It was a nice Sunday afternoon, right?
Great timing.
Yeah, great timing. And you buy it reluctantly. And you're
$49.99.
You're rooting for Tommy.
Of course.
Well, can I get to the bottom of this? Why the hate? And by the way, before we get into that, let me just take a sip of my Prime and his, Prime shout out.
Is that his water?
Yeah, that's Logan.
Did they sponsor this? That's Logan's water?
It's a great drink. You want one?
Hell no. I shouldn't be drinking this. Coffee's got me jacked.
I love it.
I don't know. This is not a normal Trenta. They got some.
What is this, Frank? Can you tell us what this is, or GC? Anyone know?
This is.
Actually, it's better not to know.
It's just coffee.
It's just coffee.
There's something else in here because this is the thing.
Why do you hate him so much? Why?
I don't hate.
Fake Paul.
Fake Paul and his brother Larry.
Why?
Ariel, before there was MMA, you know what boxing was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of younger people that didn't experience what Muhammad Ali was. I caught him at the end of his prime, but this is a fixture in my house.
Yeah.
My father talking about going to the Garden to watch Rocky Marciano. My father talking about going to the Garden to watch Jake LaMotta versus Sugar Ray Robinson. Me watching ABC Wild World of Sports, listening to Howard Cosell, who, in my opinion, you're the Howard Cosell of MMA.
Stop it.
You're the Howard Cosell of MMA.
I am not.
Better hair. You got better. You could. That's a nice.
I used to have a fro.
You know what? It's time.
You think so?
Yeah. Let that puppy grow.
I had it in college.
And also, you know what? For people, like my hair's, it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not like that. For people that can't grow, I see you got
This is Sephardic,
That's a Sephardic.
This is straight from Egypt. My dad's from Egypt. Mom's from Lebanon. This is straight
You're going against nature, not letting that puppy grow.
You think so?
Yeah. The world wants to see.
Have you ever seen the picture?
No.
Can I show this to you? This is
But
tremendous.
I could see there's people that there's people that travel the world to have that kind of thing you have up there. You could grow AstroTurf. That's Super Bowl Sunday shit you have on your top of your head.
It's like a chia pet. Yeah. It just pops.
Let it grow.
You think so?
Yeah. Because you're almost being disrespectful to people that are
losing.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is not popping up, but you can kind of see it right there. You see me top right? You see that?
Yes,
I even had the fist up.
Do it all.
Power to the people.
Do it all.
Do it all? All right.
Do it all. Let that puppy grow. Jake Paul.
But can I just say, 2001, when I told my parents when I went to Syracuse University, and for the first time in my life, everyone there wanted to be the next Costas Marv Albert like me, I told my parents, there's this sport called MMA. This is September of 2001. I had a conversation with my mom and dad from Egypt and Lebanon, immigrants who know nothing about nothing in this crazy combat sports world. There's this sport called MMA. There's this league called the UFC that's not even 8 years old, and no one's really covering it. I want to be the Howard Cosell of MMA. I said that to them. So you saying that kind of gives me...
Are you serious?
On my life. I've said the story a million times. I said, I want to be the Howard Cosell of MMA.
I got to give a shout out to my man Mark, because he's the one who
But I'm not that guy. I am 1/10, if that, as talented.
Howard was incredible.
He's just, I will never be that guy.
He was incredible.
Maybe I could be nicer to people than him based on the stories that I heard, but I have the utmost admiration and love for him.
Nice is, I mean, behind the scenes, he was. Did you ever see the HBO documentary on him?
Legend. Yes. I read the books on him, everything.
Excellent.
And the one thing that always stuck with me was by the end of his life and career, he actually hated boxing. And I remember reading that and be like, how could you hate boxing? It meant so much to you, your life, your career, your friendships. And I've always feared that would happen to me with MMA.
I understand, especially with what you know and behind
Yes.
it. He probably, I'm sure it had something to do with it. And watching the fighters get hit and watching them take fights for shit money and those
See
things.
what they're left with?
Oh, it's disgusting. Come on, man. You see those guys, like I remember seeing Ernie Shavers. I mean, look how Joe Frazier died.
Horrible.
Look how he died. Broke with nothing, Joe Frazier.
March 8th, 1971, fight of the century. Frank Sinatra's taking pictures of this guy.
The Garden.
Anyway, back to fake Paul.
He's not a boxer. And I have no problem with the hustle. You say hate, I don't hate.
How could you say not a boxer? He stepped through those ropes.
Why am I paying $49.99 to watch an amateur fight?
I mean, some might say you don't have to pay.
I had to pay.
Why?
My job. I have to pay.
But I respect the fact because a lot of people who have your position would just stream it. I respect the fact that you actually.
No,
I
don't
hate
do that.
streaming.
I don't fake. I'm going to pay the money. I want to look at it.
Respect.
And he deserves the money. You know that if we're gonna talk about it, I mean, the hustle's incredible. Logan and Jake Paul, the hustle's incredible. What they've done, forget if they never boxed. Just people that make something from something from nothing and all that stuff, and the WWE and all that stuff. But as far as like this guy being touted as a boxer and him carrying on, I don't know if he really thinks he's a boxer or he's confused if he's a boxer.
Doesn't the fact that he actually goes out and boxes, it doesn't matter how
he
good
fought Nate Robinson, that doesn't count as a fight.
Okay, fine, fair.
And then
Tyron Woodley.
What was it? Ben Askren.
Ben Askren. I mean, like,
was that
Olympian.
Fixed? I'm asking, was that fixed?
He just was an out of shape, broke guy.
You get punched. The first punch, you get punched in the face, and even I can last longer in the ring with Jake Paul than Ben Askren does. Even I can do that.
He had a replacement hip.
I don't give a fuck. Hips, no hips. I got ulcerative colitis.
Why does that bother you?
I got skin issues, and I don't sleep well. And I can make it. I would at least move around the ring. So it bothers me because I know what it takes to be a champion, and I know it. And I see him walking around with this belt.
Yeah.
When you see a boxer, whether it's Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Hector Camacho, Jake LaMotta, Muhammad Ali, Ernie Shavers, when you see them...
Sure. Who would make a belt for themselves, right?
Take a belt after they won a fight, and you see bruisers cry.
Yeah.
Because of everything they went through. Being cheated, every single workout, every single fight, every single hour in the gym. He's cheating the system. He cut the fucking line. And as a fan, I'm like, I can't sit here and give you this credit. And so I'm 6-0 against Nate Robinson, against Ben Askren.
Okay, but here's
the Tyron Woodley thing. Tyron's my guy. I was like, come on, man.
Here's the counterpoint.
Was that fake? Was that Anderson Silva shit fake?
I was there. I saw it like literally sitting right here and they're over there. Here's the thing.
What was that?
Look at who all the greats have fought in their first 5 fights. It's the equivalent.
I totally understand, but they're not.
Guys.
But they're not going around saying they're so great.
It's part of the process. Floyd Mayweather was an Olympian. And then he goes into boxing, pro boxing, and he's fighting dudes who ended up 2-100.
I get it.
So what's the difference? In fact, I would argue that Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley and all these guys are tougher than those guys. Anderson Silva, people say 47. He's still fucking Anderson Silva.
He was still Anderson Silva.
He was out there moving. He's still.
But I just don't like they act like we're not seeing what we're seeing. Like, and he's like, oh, he retired. Floyd Mayweather's already retired. Like, Jake Paul's talking about his brother retiring Floyd Mayweather.
That was an exhibition, and there was a huge weight discrepancy.
What we paid for $49.99, that's an exhibition. Because an 8-round fight is an exhibition fight.
No, it's not.
What's an 8-round fight?
An 8-round fight is just the level of experience. Most guys wouldn't get sanctioned to fight 10 or 12 rounds. So Tommy Fury had never even fought 8 rounds. I think
Tommy Fury's a bum too.
Why is he a bum?
He's not a fighter.
What is that? Okay, so what is the definition
I'm saying he's
of a
not
fighter?
a championship level fighter. Tommy Fury barely beat.
But everyone starts somewhere.
I'm not saying
That's
I
like
don't wanna
you
say
starting out
bum.
as a comedian and in your first year, someone saying like, you're not an Oscar winner.
I 100% get that, but to sit there and act like we paid $49.99 and watched a high-level boxing match.
But who's saying that? Who's saying
Jake
that?
Paul. He's saying that we're like, this is real shit. This isn't real shit. This is an exhibition. And you know what he said before the fight? Because you got to listen to what people said.
Sure.
He said, it's going to be another sparring session. He said, I got another one on the hook. And I took that personally because I was one of those people on the hook. Not only was Tommy Fury on the hook, the $49.99 that he got from me, which, let me tell you something, $49.99, I mean, thanks for the coffee.
Yeah.
That fucking hit me deep. So the $49.99, I was like, you when he said, I got another one on the hook, this is going to be another sparring session, he said exactly what it is. To him, it was just another sparring session.
And it wasn't.
And when he's throwing these flailing hooks with his head down, that's what you call not a boxer. That's a frat boy fighting punch. You duck that's not a boxer.
Okay, but is there something to be said for the intrigue that he has developed?
100%.
So we got to give props to that.
He's a great shit talker.
Okay.
Him and his brother, like, I'm not knocking the hustle, but his fighting as a boxing fan, it's also sad to me that the majority of people, when you reference the last fight they watch, including myself,
Sure.
is Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, and because what it meant to be a middleweight champion, a heavyweight champion back in the days is dilapidated. And that's a $10 word, dilapidated.
It's a tremendous word, but can I say this? People who talk about boxing being dead are very uninformed. Boxing is on fire right now. It's just not as out there. It's not on ABC like it once was. Let me tell you something. April 22nd, clear your, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, that is a mega fight.
Yes.
And by the way, that is the type of fight that we never get in boxing. Two guys under 30, undefeated, who usually will go here and go here, and then we'll see them fight. Yeah,
charismatic.
One from a Latino fan base,
Yup.
another from an
It's going to be big.
huge social media presence.
Is it in Vegas?
Vegas, yeah, April 22nd.
Yes.
Man. That is a big time fight. In a couple weeks, Caleb Plant against David Benavidez. I was going to say Joe, MMA fighter. That's an amazing fight.
Yes.
There are a lot, Tyson Fury is going to come back and fight Alexander Usyk. There are great fights. You just have to kind of work to find them.
You have to work to find them.
Katie Taylor Manasarano, did you go to that last year at the Garden?
No.
Tremendous. It was
I
unbelievable.
would like to see, because Logan Paul had a lot to say about the Fury family.
Yeah.
I say, why don't you fight Tyson Fury?
Stop.
Here's a lineup. I want to pitch it. Maybe me and you could be the promoters.
all right.
We get the two fathers to fight.
Yeah, oh, Jesus.
Because the father looks like he's about that life. And then Jake Paul's father seems like he's like...
Oh, you know about John Fury? Have you heard about John Fury?
Of course.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Of course. So I want them to fight. Then we have little Logan and Tommy. Then we have
Logan and Tyson.
Jake and Tommy on the undercard. And then we get the big boys, Tyson Fury versus Logan Paul. And you fight Tyson Fury? Matter of fact, let Tyson Fury fight Jake and then fight Logan same night. That's what. Then you won't hear a peep from me.
What do you think about Jake versus Logan? Any interest in that?
That would be awesome. Jake Paul versus Logan Paul.
That would be tremendous theater, right? What about Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz?
I'm Nate. I rock with Nate like you rock with Nate. I fuck with Nate Diaz hard. I love that dude. I've never met Nate.
Never.
Love him.
Really? Did you
I've
go
met
when he
Nick.
fought here against Masvidal?
I literally almost. That hurt me.
You were there?
Front row.
Were you next to Trump?
They kept me away from it.
Were you in line of sight?
I was right. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I saw his sons.
Wasn't that weird, by the way?
Yeah.
It was kind of weird that the president was at a UFC fight.
Yes.
Was it not?
But I was hyperventilating.
Because of Nate or because of Trump?
Because of Nate.
Oh, yeah, it was tough.
Because of Nate, because I love Nate. And I was hyperventilating also because I believe Derek Lewis is on that fight too.
Yeah.
That night, and Derek Lewis is my guy too. But I wanted Nate so bad, and he took a real beating. But, when it was, I don't know if it was the third or fourth round, and his eye was hanging off, he finally started to get his wind up, and you're like, what? But it was just the cut was so bad. But I love Nate.
You never
Diaz.
met him. Wow, I'm surprised.
I'm such a fan of his.
Is he your favorite?
I would say, yeah.
Really, number one?
Just in terms of what he exuded for me as, and again, the ramifications are on him. The beatings and the style of fighting is on him. But that is a people's champion.
Oh, he's the man.
He's incredible.
One of the nicest guys, too.
Is he?
Oh, my God,
He seems chill.
We did like a fan meetup in Vegas in July, International Fight Week. And then one of his guys was like, oh, Nate might come through. And I was like, this is like legit top 5 most famous guys in the sport. Just pops in. just pops in unannounced and stayed with us till 2 a.m. I'm shadow boxing with him. He's holding his hands up. Coolest guy and has never changed.
What's his weight? Like, what weight would he be?
Well, he would fight at 170, but for boxing, maybe 85.
He'll fuck Jake Paul up. Fuck Jake Paul up.
Would you be more interested in seeing that rather than the rematch?
Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul?
You're all in?
And
even though Jake just lost.
You
Doesn't
want
that take
smoke? Fuck with Nate Diaz. That would be, I'd pay $109.99.
I kind of feel like they ruined it. The fight was right there. You know, he left the UFC in September. By the way, why did you fold my shirt? Do you not like it, or is it just?
No, I didn't want to get it messy. I'm coughing,
that.
spitting.
No.
You want this thing.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you want to send this to the dry cleaner just from being around.
I appreciate it. I felt like it was right there, and now the luster has kind of been taken away a little bit.
Because of Jake Paul losing?
Yeah. I wanted him undefeated against Nate. Nate being the final boss of MMA.
Jake Paul, we could get that luster up real easy.
Yeah?
Yeah, because first of all, he didn't get knocked out of the Tommy Fury fight. And it's Jake Paul. Like, we could get it going. See, so when I'm talking shit about Jake Paul, like, you're a hater, I'm like, we could get that going easy. Would Nate take that fight?
When they were in talks.
Let's get that going.
Yes.
If you need to fight Tommy Fury to prove that you're a boxer, do it.
I think that would be a mistake.
Well, he can lose again?
Yeah.
He barely won.
Now you'd be 0-2 in your last two fights going to the Nate fight. You know what the fight that's being talked about right now, right?
What?
Nate versus Logan. Because you see what happened.
In boxing?
Yes. Do you like that?
Yeah. These guys can't fight.
So this is what happened. So
also, are there PED tests?
It depends on which state.
Let's make sure that were there
Why?
PED tests?
What are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to say, if you're a real boxer,
Sure.
we should have So were there PED tests versus Tyron Woodley?
Yes, I believe so. So it was Cleveland and Tampa.
Cleveland? Is there fucking PED tests in Cleveland?
Ohio and Florida.
I'm doing shows this weekend.
Yeah,
I'm going there hopped up on everything. You think I'm doing my shows at the Improv this weekend clean? I'm on everything.
I know, but you're not
Adderall,
competing.
D-ball, give me a fucking hopped up. I got 4 shows.
They maybe a Trenta or Tenta, I don't know what it is.
Yes.
What happened was, as you may recall, mid-fight, they went to Logan, and he was like, Fury family, you're a bunch of whatever. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then Diaz tweeted that, like, who let the spoiled? That was the seed. And now all of a sudden, it's in talks. Are you
wait, how much does Logan Paul weigh? 230?
No.
220? Because he's big boy.
I think for the Floyd fight, which obviously was a weird one because Floyd was so light, I think he was in the 190s, top of my head.
He looks big now.
He's he's doing the wrestling thing. He doesn't have to be a certain weight. Have you seen his wrestling clips?
Incredible wrestling.
Like, the dude is flying, like.
Incredible. I'm not a hater.
All right.
But when it comes
I feel like you get a bad rap for being a hater.
Because I'm just saying what it is. It's like, I could say what it is and also give it respect. Like, you know, like.
People confuse the two, right? That's the problem with the internet these days.
They confuse the two. And all that stuff. But Nate, but Logan Paul, I think, but if Logan Paul fights Nate Diaz, there should be PED tests. And if Jake Paul's a real boxer, I want to see the PED tests. I want to see all of it. Like, if you're a real fighter, let's do what all the real fighters have to do.
Wouldn't it be nuts? Nate versus Jake, Nick versus Logan.
Woo! The fucking Diaz brothers. There's money to be made. And then, let Tommy Fury and Jake Paul's father just, like, the Fury dad.
Do you see them show up this weekend? They're hardly ever together, Nick and Nate. They were at the fight
yes, I
this
saw it.
Legends. Have you ever been to Stockton?
Nope.
209, man.
I know about that Stockton slap, though.
That's right.
I know all about that Stockton slap. I love those dudes.
How many UFCs have you been to?
I'd say I've been to maybe about 7, 6, 7.
Did you go to Conor versus Eddie at MSG, the first one ever? UFC 205?
No, I went to Conor. Man, I was thinking that my memory is bad.
Conor Khabib?
No, I wasn't at that. That would have been incredible. And I wasn't at Conor versus Nate, although that chokeout. One of my favorite nights ever. I believe it was March 5th.
Yes, 2016.
One of my
UFC 196.
Oh, that was incredible.
How do you remember the date?
Because I saw it online the other day.
Oh, okay, all right.
And no, because Nick Diaz, I think, posted it, or the Diaz brothers Instagram posted it. I think today's the 8th.
Yeah. Okay, the anniversary.
So yesterday,
right.
but yesterday they posted it. It was the 7th.
Oh, really?
And one of the responses was like, bro, today's the 7th.
Yeah, it's close
I was
enough.
like, it's so much like the Diaz brothers to post it 2 days later. So that's how I know the date. But I mean, that was a fantastic evening. And one of my other fantastic evenings was when my man Khabib.
You like Khabib?
Choked him out real nice.
So you're not a Conor fan?
Respect him.
Okay.
But nah.
Why?
I mean, how could you not be a fan?
Right.
I'm not a fan. I rooted for Khabib. I rooted for Diaz. I rooted. I was ringside when he almost got knocked out of the ring by Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, you went?
Ringside.
Wow.
It was right in front of me.
Wow.
I was right there. And he almost got, he's lucky. They saved him from that image, that Pacquiao image, because he was about to get knocked the fuck out of that ring.
Did you enjoy that?
Woo! Oh my God.
So you like that fight? That was a spectacle, right?
A spectacle. Conor came to fight.
Yeah.
It was great for boxing.
It was good theater, right? It was fun.
I mean, anything with Conor McGregor is great theater. And I love that the boxer at, what was it, Floyd, 57, 58 years old when he won that fight?
No.
60?
What are you talking about?
He was 56 years old?
No, he was, I think, early 40s, 49-0.
And he beat his ass. And he
Did you fly in just for that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It was fantastic. And that was a,
But you fly private when you go to those or what?
Do I fly private?
Yeah.
Ariel, what are you, crazy?
What do you mean?
I get on American Airline. I don't.
For real? With the common folk?
America, first class. First class.
You don't do private?
Hell no.
Ever?
If you got a hookup?
No, but I see everyone's on a private plane. They all act like it's theirs, by the way. We all know they're renting it, but they act like it's theirs. I thought for sure you pop into Vegas in and out.
No, I mean, I've done it when people have...
Atypical? I mean, you're killing it.
I'm killing it, but I'm not killing it. I'm not Leonardo DiCaprio here.
I mean, how much is a private flight?
Who cares? It's more expensive. I just, first class, business class, I'm good to go.
All right, fine.
But that was a fantastic night, and everybody was there. That was like an event.
Yeah.
And it was worth the money and worth the trip because, like I said, Conor came to fight, although he got the shit beaten out of him by, we said Floyd was 53 years old, something like that. Yeah. That was a fun night.
Let me ask you this. I remember I was there covering it in the rafters. No one showed up until the main event. I was shocked. Tank Davis, who's fighting Ryan Garcia, I know this was 2017, was fighting on that card. There might have been 1,000 people at T-Mobile. When did you show up? Did you show up for the main event, or did you show up? Even Badu Jack was on that card. It was actually a not bad card in retrospect.
I saw Badu, and I got caught up.
You showed up late. Red carpet.
There was a room. There was a private room that I believe Denzel was in.
Wow.
Let's call it the Denzel room.
Wow. He was at that fight.
I believe.
Okay.
But I remember Draymond Green was there with Paul George, and talk about a hairline. Paul George got...
Oh, yeah, he's tremendous.
That's like a...
Yeah. I mean, he's got less forehead real estate than me, and that's hard to beat.
It's a beautiful... And I told him, I said, your hairline is incredible. But, I mean, Michael Irvin was there, the late, great, the actor, Black Panther... come on.
Frank, help me out here.
Oh, the great actor.
Oh my God, how are we?
Chad, he was there. Don Cheadle. I mean, Reggie Miller. I mean, it was like it was like that vibe of a night, and it was a crazy mixed. What was wild? You knew who was rooting for Floyd and who was rooting for Conor. Okay. There was it
was very clear.
There was racial overtones and undertones of Vegas in general. Not even in the arena. Vegas that week it was interesting, sort of like, race and sports. It's very clear. Oh yeah.
Who are you rooting for?
Floyd.
So that's interesting because I feel like by that statement you were implying, correct me if I'm wrong, that the African Americans were rooting for Floyd and the white people were rooting for Conor.
But the white people were a lot of Irish front. They were kind of. Okay. It was also boxing versus MMA.
Yeah,
and as much as I love MMA, if a dumb boxer decided to go into MMA with no experience, I'd have to go. I'm gonna have to root for the MMA guy.
James Toney did it, and he got smoked by Randy Couture.
Yeah, it was. You're not. That's James Toney.
Yeah, lights
This is one of the greatest. But this is It's like saying, well, Michael Jordan would be good at tennis
or baseball.
But everybody's good at pickleball.
That's right. You play pickleball.
I'm not bad.
It's a very old man sport, no?
That's why everybody plays it.
That's right. Where do you play?
I play in there's parks, play in LA.
Your home is in the city, though,
In
right?
the city.
In the city. Nothing in L.A.?
Done.
Done.
Finished in L.A.
When did you last live there?
2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
Why'd you leave?
I had been there long enough, and I just got.
Which part?
Like, what is the point of being here?
Right.
You know, I love New York. I get off on New York. I get off on riding the subway. Like I rode the subway down here because we're in Manhattan here, but we're almost like we're gonna almost fall in the water.
Right.
Like if this building, like this thing will just go right into the water.
Right.
But you know, I mean, New York is just. It's my home. It's my natural habitat, and being here just makes me happy. Whereas LA, it did not make me happy. I feel like that city doesn't give you anything.
It's always been a bucket list thing for me to live there for a year. Am I missing out?
If you do it for a year.
It seems like a Manhattan Beach, something like that, Santa Monica. Seems like a great life.
I mean, if you can do this with your family and your kids there, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not bad. But
sick of the winter, too. Enough of this crap.
This is nothing. This is.
I mean, I'm from Canada, and I hate this.
This is nothing.
I was
today.
in Miami this weekend. It's like the joke's on us.
Yeah.
Look at these people.
Yeah.
They look so happy.
It is true.
What are we doing?
It is true.
90 degrees.
All the time.
It's unbelievable.
The weather's great in California. Miami, the weather's fantastic. But this winter, because this is global warming in full effect.
Yeah.
I mean, in full effect.
So Cleveland this weekend, talking about a climate.
Weekend, no PED testing,
No
apparently.
PED testing. How many shows? 4?
4 shows in Cleveland. And then in Indianapolis, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And then I'm doing shows
so you're fully in like a swing here of like this is your main gig right now, or are you also doing a movie, TV?
I'm doing a TV show. I'm doing a show with Amy Schumer, a show called Life and Beth. It's the 2nd season of the show, which I love, that show. So I'm doing that. I'm doing the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. Screaming and yelling. Avoiding beefs, unlike somebody in this room.
I don't start them. Just finish.
What currently today, if I said,
now?
Who's after you today?
Right this second?
Right now. So you couldn't say that about me. If you said who's after you today, I'd say nobody.
Nah, there's people who are after you right now.
I mean, your people following your page, they don't count. If they're
No. I'm talking about high profile people.
I mean, maybe there's an ex-president or two, but
Did you ever get worried that they would try to I don't know, tap into your phone or some shit like that?
Of course, I know that everybody's tapping into everybody's phone.
Oh, really?
But I don't do the dick pics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But honestly, because my
right
friend
now?
said, there's somebody's trainer. Who's beefing with you?
Who's the trainer that's beefing with me?
There's somebody beefing with you.
I can't think.
There's somebody's assistant.
What's assistant?
I don't know. I'm asking.
No, I'm a good guy.
You don't have to tell me.
I try to stay out of trouble. I'm doing my thing. Frank, who's he talking about? I feel like I'm missing something.
I'm a little upset with you.
Yeah. But
but that goes without saying.
Yeah.
I mean, before I came in here, the things that your own producers were saying about
what were they
you.
saying?
I'll leave that between you guys. I don't.
He was sworn to secrecy.
Are you going back on Howard?
Of course.
It's him and Cosell. I've never met him. You think you could put in a word or something? Do you think I would be?
I definitely could put in a word, whether that would mean anything or not.
Some people say that I remind them of a young Howard. Crazy?
Howard Cosell.
No, Stern.
Well, you're not
I'm not raunchy and stuff, but I say a lot of the things. I will admit, he wraps up. You've said it all. You've done. I try to give he's so good.
He's the best.
But could he come back to the studio already? Enough of this.
I agree.
It's enough already.
It's enough.
Enough, man. You're in. You've got legends coming to see you, and you're in Florida. With all due respect,
I think he might be in law. I don't know where he is.
Wherever he is.
I think that
enough already.
I think the pandemic with Howard played into all his
neuroses,
not liking to be around people. He was a germaphobe before germaphobes were a thing.
Right.
And I think it played into it. And I think for his own mental well-being, he needs to come back. Forget the fans.
Right.
Because you have to come back. And you know what? I would wish Howard to get COVID, have it for 2 or 3 days, and then realize, okay, I'm fine. Because his fear is for real.
Yeah.
But he needs to come back in the studio. That being said, I could understand why he wouldn't want to come back in the studio, because who really wants to look at Baba Booey's teeth? You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
No, honestly.
I love Baba Booey. Fafafooey?
You mean Tata Toothy? But honestly, Howard, for him to have to come in and look at those big, ginormous, brown, dirty, filthy fucking teeth, then you have to think, I understand why he doesn't want to come back.
Right.
Because that ape and those big fucking teeth, that's not a pretty thing to look. I've seen them in
You and
person.
JD are cool?
I love JD.
Really? Okay.
JD's great.
Yeah.
And Bowie's great too, as long as you keep it compartmentalized to know what you're dealing with.
Okay.
Which is a horse-toothed,
Stop.
filthy mouth jackass.
By the way, I want to ask you one last thing. The video that you did when you were outside talking about being in New York and then someone nailed you with a snowball.
Yes.
Work or shoot?
I have
Here's
to.
the video right here. You know this one, right?
Iconic. That was discussed on the news.
Yes. Was it legit or not?
I leave that. I let the people continue to discuss and debate.
It's a great piece of film.
That is a great piece of film, a great piece of, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thing about going viral, you never, if you could predict how these things work, I'd be a gazillionaire.
Yeah.
Because this was literally done in however long, we popped it up, and there was discussions, debate, you know, Fox News calling, that British guy, who's the British guy?
Piers Morgan?
They wanted me on. I'm like, you really want to talk about this?
Did you go on?
No. No.
But your TikTok game is on fire. How many followers do you have on TikTok?
4.5, but I feel like TikTok, they don't like me.
Why?
Fuck, shit, asshole.
It's unbelievable. Like even you doing the commentary with the animals and all that
Yes.
shit. Like your stuff is great. How do you have time to do all this?
I did a video when I do the videos that I do are all happen when I'm like in the car, when I'm walking
Isn't it a little intoxicating? Don't you need a break sometimes? Do you ever take a social media break?
I take a break.
You do? You put your phone away?
Yeah.
You do?
I put my best nights of sleep are when my phone's in the other room.
You do that?
Yes.
Shut it off?
It's just in another room.
No anxiety doing that?
No. I enjoy it. I need to do it more. And I haven't been able to delete the apps for like, do it for a week. Have you done that?
No. I don't have the strength. I'm too tied to it.
I know it's a terrible addiction.
But I will say, when I make like I'm in Miami with my family, brother's wedding. By the way, my brother's a huge fan of yours. David, shout out.
David, does he have hair like you?
Probably better.
Does he let it grow?
No, same thing.
You guys are you're
trying to be
you're thumbing your nose at
And speaking of the nose,
beautiful nose.
Really?
But
Thank you.
Ariel, are you gonna let's you don't have to answer now because I feel like you're not ready.
Yeah.
Will you let that puppy grow out?
We have the picture, by the way. In case you didn't see it, where's the picture? I think Connor pulled it up. Do we have it? Look at that. I mean,
That's real hair.
That's me, Syracuse University, 2003, I believe.
What was your Carmelo one?
I was there. I used to see Carmelo in the freaking cafeteria. I was there in 2003.
That's
Went
the
to
year
the
he
game.
won?
Yeah, that was the year. 20 years ago. This next month. But what about me doing the subtle power to the people? You know, I was down for the cause. I went to Jewish private school in Montreal. Talk about a confused kid. Full Malcolm X gear. X hat by any means necessary.
You're gonna get yourself canceled.
No. Listen.
You putting this out.
I was so confused. So I love the Knicks. Spike Lee comes out with this movie. I support anything Spike Lee does. Are you cool with Spike?
Yes.
Thank God. Denzel's in it. And I'm like, this guy's the man. So I asked my parents, can I get some? I got the gear and a little confused, right?
But intentions are in a good place.
I mean, I was just, I'm doing projects on Frederick Douglass.
Yes.
They didn't teach me any of this in Canada. Jewish private school in Canada,
Right.
they don't teach us anything about MLK, about Malcolm
Now
X.
do they? Is it more
In
forward?
Canada, nothing.
Nothing.
My kids now in school here, they learn all about it. So I was like, I need to embrace this culture. And but I was unsure of myself. So it was down.
Right,
Tommy
down
Smith,
to-
John Carlos.
Right. No,
1960.
you didn't.
I
No,
wasn't that.
You were just
I
down
was
here. Like it could be like, oh, I'm just like stretching my
yes.
back.
But that's what I was trying to do.
But are you willing to commit? And maybe you let the fans chime in. Are you willing to commit to let that puppy grow? I'm not saying you got to
right
go
now.
full.
It's so thick. You have no idea. After a week, it starts to weigh on my head.
Really? Oh, your
it's
hair's so thick.
It's so.
That's what you're upset
it's
about.
Uncomfortable.
It's so.
The neck is
I have
all
so much
itchy.
hair that it's uncomfortable.
This is clean. It's
Let
nice.
it fucking grow. Once you get past the first couple of weeks,
know,
it's
that's
gonna
the
just
thing.
go in nice. Then you go through your Drake phase. You get some waves.
Yeah.
And then you grow out. We start playing games. We get a little party, or we get a lover boy party.
Oh, you think so?
I'm just
the
saying.
heart. I could do the heart.
I know you're not going to answer me now, but I would say let your fans chime in.
Okay, we'll
Not
do
that
a
you
poll.
give a shit.
We could do a poll on the Twitter page.
Should Ariel let that puppy grow? That's the question.
Also, can I just say something for the record? And I'm married. I'm spoken for. All the women hated it at school. Like they all told me to cut it. But I mean,
you know why they were jealous? You had
you think
better
so?
hair than them.
Yeah. My future wife knew me back then and also hated it.
She'll be fine right now.
Okay. No, now she let me know.
Yeah, but those women, they were jealous.
You think so?
Yeah, they're like, how can I go with a guy with better hair than me?
That's a good point. By the way, shout out to you with the Happy Purim.
Happy Purim.
Chag Sameach. So this is what we like to do on the show. You all right?
Yeah, I got my foot tied up on.
You know about this. We like to play a little game called darts.
Yeah.
3 versus 3.
Where did I tell you I was earlier?
You said you were practicing. Legit?
You'll see right now.
I've been smoking everyone. In fact, we have the graphic right up here. This is me as of late. So our first ever guest, Sky Nicholson, in studio to do this. Undefeated Olympic boxer. Somehow got a 93. I still don't know how she did it. 3 shots. Chael Sonnen got a 40, killed him. Eddie Hearn, 23, killed him. KSI, this was the best part, tried to actually run it back right away and put some stakes. Said, if he beat me, well, actually, if I beat him, I get to moderate the face-off between him and Jake Paul if and when they fight.
He should be paying you. You shouldn't have to beat him to moderate.
You know KSI?
Is he a boxer too?
Yeah.
Did he box before he fought Jake Paul? He's a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
He like does pranks and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the man. Also, Cody Rhodes, I beat him. So now
Who
you're
beat
up
you?
next.
One woman beat
Sky Nicholson at the top, right there. 93 she got. Now, do you know the rules?
you. What are they?
This is the beauty. Let's go.
What a-
Me versus Michael Rapaport, 1-on-1. 3 shots, but I'm a mensch. I let you not only choose your darts, I let you also get 1 practice shot. You're Jon Jones before the fight. That's baller when he does that, right?
I do this every morning to get the phlegm moving.
Yeah. All right, so do you want to take your practice shot?
Yeah.
First, which one you want? This one, the gold? Okay, 1 practice shot, no pressure. Look at the elements, right? You're a tall guy. How tall are you?
6'3".
6'3", you got that light right over there. I just want to let you know.
I see the light and I feel like you.
No, it's just like, listen, this is Boston Garden in the 80s. We turn off the AC.
It's nothing.
Right? It's nothing.
I spit on Danny Ainge. I spit on Kevin McHale and his shoulders.
Let's go. Here it is, Michael Rapaport. Okay, that's not bad.
No, it ain't bad.
Okay, so this is a...
13.
No, it's a 4. You got to see right there. It's a 4. But that's your
Okay.
practice, right? This one doesn't count.
Yeah, that wasn't a 13?
No, it's right there.
Okay.
4. But all right, so here you go. Now you got comfortable.
Why don't you go first?
No. Listen.
Please.
Home court advantage.
Please.
You want to go? You want me to go first?
Please.
I've never done this. Frank, should I
Don't
go
be.
first?
Oh, the little
Wow.
gamesmanship.
All right. Good luck.
Wow, I just got into your head
That's
because when I
fine.
said go first, you stuttered, you stammered.
I do it out of respect.
You've never gone first.
Never gone first.
Woo!
All right, out of respect. Here we go.
Here we go,
Me
baby.
versus Michael Rapaport. I'm not. By the way, I sometimes try to coach people. You were doing it
Oh, I don't
wrong.
need no coaching.
All right. Here we go.
I do the shit. I'm the captain now.
You're the captain. I'm about to smoke your ass. Oh, that was bad. That was a 1, Joe. Fucking hell.
Oh, God damn it.
Choking, Joe.
Don't worry, you're good.
Oh,
What'd you
Joe.
get?
Horrible. Joe, 10, 1, 7. I got to say, you threw me off a little bit with the
Yes!
first. I'm giving credit where it's due.
Yes!
Threw me off with the first. 18 for Helwani. This is some kind of bullshit. I wasn't prepared for it.
You ready?
By the way, props to you.
You're so thrown off right now.
I've only lost once, and I feel like I'm about to lose for a second time, so no pressure
Are you ready?
whatsoever. And yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure actually on you. So here we go. Here's the first one. Off the board, and it feels as though the pressure has now shifted from Helwani to Rapaport. Off the board again. Off the board again.
Well, that's the first, yeah.
Is that a first? That ain't no first.
What the hell just happened? Was that legit?
I'm
Are you
trying
fucking around?
No, it wasn't fucking around. I'm trying to win here, man. I'm trying to bury you on your own show.
0-0?
Oh,
on the
man.
ground. Yo, that couldn't be real.
Let's run it back, and if you run it back, I'll let you commentate my next beef. You could be the.
Yo, was that legit? Were you working me right there?
No, I wasn't working. I wish I was working you right there.
That was a bigger choke job
was
than
in
Cyril
David-
Gane against Jon Jones.
I was in David Buster's all morning practicing.
That was unbelievable. Wow. I don't know if I'll ever top that. Michael Rapaport is the man. If you're in Cleveland this weekend at the Cleveland Improv, go to michaelrapaportcomedy.com
Yes,
to
sir.
get your tickets.
Yes, sir.
And if you're in Indy, end of the month, go to michaelrapaport.com, comedy.com to get your tickets. And also check out the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast.
That was awesome.
Which may actually soon be allegedly
With Michael Rapaport.
respect.